Okay, these four behaviors and the weak point. You didn't know. You didn't need to explain because the power resistance is the still high temperature will be avoidance, right? And the collisions, normally a building, we finish the building of the steel structure, you need planting a lot of the material to anti the collision, and high press, right? High press. So the very different. This depends your design. Okay, it's very close. Like? Yeah, better. Now we can see this material. I explained you before. You almost all. I believe everyone started know this figure. But the knowledge from the figure you will be noted. As I said, when beginning in here, when in this you can see in this part and this part, we apply very few for here. Produce such deformations. When for here, the same force will produce such deformations. That means for this, normally we determine this point as a field part, right? Because this one have a large deformation finish, and then it again have a new strength. This is first warning for you. And this part you will lose everything. Clear? Okay. Very good.
The point where it has a large information, the first part.
The first part for here.
So how does it get balance?
Again, this one. This is the steel behavior. You have one first. This is bearing part, bearing stones, and then here you lose this stones, losing the future. This is basic behavior for the steel. Okay. And this is the steel. When we see the microstructure for the steel, we can find the arrangement of the material is very good. But for the concrete, you can see this. It has some creaks, some weak point, weak lines. And the application of the steel structure. Normally, we also can be conclusion. Summarize 5 parts: higher, larger, heavy, special, light. Can know that? High, large, heavy, special, light. Okay. Now the following part is you interesting. This is what the trend centers 110 stories. One of this is steel structural system. Every part is made from the steel. You know this 2 building is before. You know that? The central buildings normally how to make it. This arrangement of the building. In the center, have a very big concrete part. In the center, and outside this one arrangement of a lot of steel structure, and then this is spot in the middle of the central part. Okay. Jingmao Tower. This is China. That's the Jingmao Tower. In Shanghai. You know that? You visit Shanghai? Visit Pudong? You can know that in the center, this is home part for the building from concrete, made from the concrete, concrete, and the outside with arrangement a lot of steel, for the outer part. Then the building is construction. Now in Shanghai Pudong, they have 3 buildings: Jingmao Towers, World Central buildings, and the Shanghai Central. You can see one is 400, 500, 600. They all use the concrete and the steel. You can see this one, the construction part, the construction of the Shanghai Center. In here, you see red part. Remember, this is not this is concrete in center because it is stable, much stable. And outside, you can see a lot of support and the column and the beam is all in the steel. Normally, this is concrete plus the steel structure to construct this. Very big, And for the Bank of China in Hong Kong, it also has a steel structure. Why I choose these pictures? I want to show you some in the steel structure. For the steel structure, you can see a lot of this one. How called this one? Why we arrangement this side in this building? Because you can imagine this one is a spot. Okay, this one spot. This is a big column in here. Where you spot. Okay, you can imagine that for the structural mechanics, you can calculate this building, right? No, you don't know how to calculate this building. For example, okay, this is buildings. When we apply a part in here, right? It is much stable. It can separate a lot of force from this point to share this force, right? And also, we apply this one, also can share the force. This building is directly to outside this spot for you, and also it looks very beautiful, right? So it is one famous steel structure. Also, you can see here, in the high buildings, all is the steel structure. Building built by steel structure. So if you study the steel structure, you will know some basic knowledge about how to construct these buildings. But if you studied this, you cannot build this one. Because we studied just one part, a little part. Okay. I should make sure when you finish study, you can build in what I will show you. You can build in that. Wait. Okay. When you finish this class study, I hope you should know how to calculate this one. How to calculate and design and to design this, to check this. Know that? This is building a small construction, a light potential farm structure. Normally, you can, if you wanted to open a factory, you can build by yourself. Okay, a supermarket because it have a large span. Okay. Okay, come back to see other situation. You can see that most of the highest building is built by the steel structure. You can, if you go to the Shanghai, you can also see the Opera Hotel Shanghai. This is for the radio. And the beam is what? Okay. We come back. This is the Shanghai Dongfang Minju. You visit this one? You visit? In this boat, we can travel in boat. We can travel here. This part is the canteen, restaurant, hotel, restaurant. This is we can visit it.
So we're going to visit it? You're going to take us?
Yes, when you graduate. You want to visit it?
Yes.
In here, some visit some game part like how to call this? Call center. It have some playing living part. Here have office and the glass door. We can see now this the floor is made from the glass. It's very very well. Okay. Now this is Shanghai Pudong. If you have chance, I suggest you to visit Shanghai, go to the Shanghai. Okay, this is Guangzhou.
That is good. That comes up.
Guangzhou Tower, you can see it 2007 when beginning to build it. This is construction part. In the central have the cone, the sports cone, and the construction that's one. Almost use 2 years to building it, finish building it. Almost the higher is 454 buildings. You see the construction part. This is sport. You can make this is column, this is a beam, to range, and in the center we give some support to separate the force in the middle. Yeah.
The support in the middle is concrete.
In central part is concrete. Normally it's concrete. It is stable and have some weight. For example, in here, in this building, This is center. This is center. We build some column. For example, this is column. And the column between column have spot. And each layer they have also spot to separate the force. Clear? Because the wind applied in here, we can transfer the force applied to this one, to the center. Because the column, the concrete is very stable. The deformation is very small, right? But the steel structure, for the steel, when we have wind, it will be shaking, very large. So we should normally we use concrete together with the steel to build this one. Concrete is very easy. We building this one towers. But only the concrete is not stable. It is not stable. We need some the steel part to support this. Clear? Okay, this is CCTV central core. CCTV center. This is building. You can see this is two L shape. And what means you can see this. This is like a Chinese word. Like what? Yes, it's like Chinese word. Chinese word. Do you know this word? Right? What it means? Right? The mouse. CCTV is the mouse of the China. Right? Every CCTV is the mouse of the China. It's divided from two L strap or 12 strap together. It's very difficult to construct this. This is the design part. If you know the mouse, the code, you can see the meaning of the buildings. You can tell the word, the Chinese cultures, right? Speak, blah, 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 blah. You hear? You see that?
Yeah.
The building can be 4 parts. This is buildings. This is load place. Elevator here, connection. This building. Two build. It have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. 6 parts arranged from the. You just think 6 office. This is maker. This is service. This is videos. This is broadcasting. This is management. This is news. Different parts. Now, for design this 4 parts with some functions, will run the arrangement like this. It is very easy for everyone to communication everyone, right? So you can see in the view, in this view, you can see everyone connection together. You can see the load place. If you know this complement, you can go to ask this one. This is building for Can you understand what I said?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I said.
Go on.
If I speak Chinese, it will become more logic. Okay? It's difficult for the mechanical teachers to tell you the architectures. Okay. So I would like to explain this. This is the model. When you're building this one, building these models, right? Building this model. And we should do the simulation to check it is right. When do the simulations to calculate it, but you don't know how to calculate. It's a very complicated process. We can find a lot of force, cracks, clocks, arrangement in here, right? You can see the red one is the deformation, right, after simulation. So if we want the building stable, how to deal with this one. If we want to deal, make it stable, how to deal with it? You can see this is initial basic parameters for the construct buildings. When after analyze, we can find a lot of cross arrangement in this part. So we need to adapted the parameters, right? For example, we found this one here. A lot of the force communication or deformation happens in this one. We can find arrangement a lot of the spot in this part. Also, arrangement a lot of spot in here, right?
Yes.
And also here, Now they have this design, finish the first design, and then we use some simulation calculation to calculate all structures to dynamic load or other earthquake to check it is safety or not safety. This is the construction part, the field construction. Between the construction, because it's very large buildings, between this one we need some design some parts. It can have conversion extension to release the energies through this component. Connection, for example, this is connection. Okay. This deal with the foundations because this is very large construction buildings. You can see arrangement of the piles. This is piles, concrete piles. We deal the foundations, make the foundation is strong enough to support the weight of the buildings, and then continue to construction this part. This is all the components made from the factories and ready to the buildings. Then construction part. You can see this is a very big column. So the largest column supports the weight of the 17,000. 27. Okay. This is the column, one part of the column. And now we can see that this is construction part. The difficulty is in here. We need a connection to two L shapes. Then make it as a core. Right? This part is here, like this. Do you know how to write the code? This is the foundation. You don't. It's very easy to build. But in the skies here, right? For here, connection is very difficult. In China, we overcome this difficulty to together connection together. You can see the workers. It's very dangerous to work in the sky. Okay. You can see the inside of the center. See here, this is column. For this building, the column. If you visit here, the column is here. The column, each component of the steel. You can planting it, and as the directly planting it, and using this in the buildings, in the roofs. So analyze this part. You can find the column beam, right? You normally for the steel structures inside you can find some a lot of the steel part. Okay, this is the Chinese. Okay, also we can see the National Stadium for Beijing. Everyone knows that. It is also difficult. for use, we should know how to build in this one. How to build in this one. It is not very difficult to build. If you studied the steel structures, you will be know that the construction part is using these two. How to call this? This system, how to call it?
Trust.
Trust.
It's a frame.
That's right. It's a firm. Cross section front.
Is
And you can see font. You can see here one part, second part, third part. You see that? Building is very easy, right? You only use these two first to make a net building. The difficult is to construction part because this is always the steel structures, steel. So a lot of steel. The steel should have high strength. Always the new materials for Chinese wood. Okay, right now when you finish the arrangement of the farm part, then arrangement is some spot. You can see here this is spot, large spot. Right? So this construction for the steel. Right? It's easy. The logic is easy. The principle is easy. How to difficult in this part? It's you can see this the spot. This spot is very long, very large, very long, very large. And all is directly made from the factories. You can see here, made from factory. The installation part is very difficult for workers. Okay. Okay, this building is finished. You can see this one. Natural ground centers. This is for you see for the steel structure. It also includes the shell part. Also means for the nationality for the national ground theaters, they have the three music room. We want for Chinese government. We want to make it together. So we raise a very large show part to on here on the three music rooms, and then make it together. So we're building a very large showroom. Yeah. The steel, this is made from the steel. This is also one part for the steel structures. Okay, sure. Now I also show you buildings. This is the 30 layers buildings. You can you guess how many times it built? How long? Yes. See, this is hours. Almost the 300.
So 6 days. 6 days before.
hours. So temporary how many days? How many days?
About 13.
Almost 15 days to finish the building. So it's very quick, right? Very quick. 30 layers. You can see this one. For before, you can see the central part. Here, see here, the central part is also directly use the steel, right? You can see here, central part. Right? Normally, for the concrete. The concrete, we should leave 30 days to keeping it to make it stronger, right? But for the steel structure, if you don't have the time, but you have a lot of money, you can directly building of the structures. Very good, right? For example, if you want to open a hotels, you can use 1 month to finish this hotel. But it costs a lot. Okay, factory buildings, and also normally used in factory buildings. It's a heavy factory, and also use some camp for save the oil or other gas. Okay, right? It's because the high strength and it's very easy to make some shirt, the bow shirt. Can you understand that? And also the light steel structure. So in your machines is this one. Okay, the machine. To know the calculate the strength in each joint. Because for the heavy and the high buildings, it's very difficult to calculation. You use this one for these buildings, you can directly calculate, know the principle. In the future, you can use this principle to the other buildings. Okay. So right now you can understand the high strength, uniformity reliability, industrial. For the behavior of the steel structure, I strategy you to understand this 4.5 points, and also the building 5 points. Now you can imagine in your mind for this point, for this keyword, right? For the steel structure, why it is high, why it is light, why it is heavy, why it is special, why it is light, right? Okay, some weak points or drawback. You can see its explanations. Or high temperature, it will be closed for the steel structure, right? Two planes. You can see this one. Normally, the building is stable when the air kick the building, right? The building didn't close, right? Like this shape, but it is have the fires. You can see fires and continue one time. If the planes kick this one, if the structure is not stable, it will be collapse down, right? but the place kick in there here is explosion, and a very big fires will happen, and then continue to collapse like this trick.
Son, how is that a weakness?
Sorry,
How is it a weakness?
how is the what?
Like, how is that a weakness? Because since the plane hit the building and it did it, it means it is strength.
Yes.
Then, it contains the fire inside.
Yes.
It doesn't bring the destruction. So it's not supposed to be a weakness. I'm saying this is what I'm saying is, since the plane hit the building, right? After it hit, if it was another building, it would have fallen down, right?
Yes.
Right. But since it's still, so it contained the destruction inside.
Yes.
Even though but the fire stayed inside. It didn't affect the other
Yes,
outside.
yes, yes.
So it's supposed to be strength, not weakness.
Oh yes, to me I know that. I know your point. And if the plane kick it disclose some part, it will destroy other buildings.
Yeah.
But if the fire, for this I know you. But the building can until the fire stronger, we will not lose all the buildings, right? If for example the air is kicked in here, right? It just stop in here. They have a hole. But they continue the fire, the temperature is too high, it transfer downward. So if you make if it's okay, this is the process of the fire of the fire step. First, the one player in here, another player in here. The two buildings didn't collapse, but it have a very large fire. And also didn't affect other buildings. That's these two buildings. So maybe it is just but we didn't want to see this. Listen, okay. You can see here. This is also the fire. You can find the roof. Initial the building is a factory building the same height of this building, and after the fire, the clock turned down, the roof down. You can see the a lot of after fires, the deformation, very big deformation for this building. Okay. And you can see earthquake. This is concrete building. Earthquake. In Wenchuan, you know the Chinese Wenchuan earthquake. You don't know. It's a very big earthquake. Chinese lose a lot of people. You can check it from the internet. But for in the same place for the steel structure, the roof some deformation happens, but it is also stable. You can see here. The roof have deep deformations because it is made from the steel. This is airport for the Wenchuan. Only very small deformation. Airport. This is the roof of the airport. Okay, some parts. Before they started the steel structure, we should know the specific elements of it includes the shell elements, cables, tension compression bars, bearing, tension bars, and bending members. Okay, we will start in the next class. Okay, see you Wednesday.